G'day, my name's Matt and I'm building a Sopwith Camel. Well, actually I'm on the Inter-Island ferry between North and South Island at the moment, and this is going to be a very quick catch-up. It's a tale of woe followed by a success story, so hopefully you find it interesting. So it's only a short one because I've had to spend a weekend away on family business. I'll catch up with you next week. My last 7 turned into toast. I'm making progress. I'm coming across different problems. So this top one is my template, and from a previous accident it's actually nicked in the top half, and I didn't think the router wheel would catch that, but obviously the router wheel a bit higher than anticipated, so it's caught that little divot there and created a divot in all the ones below. So this is now half a mil too short, half mil with this, it's out by half a mil. So that's that packet gone. That was 4. And with this one, and that's from using a template with a defect in that I thought would be okay. Clearly it wasn't. And this one, what happened, this one is right at the very end here. I ended up forcing it to try and get as much routed out to the bottom end as possible. And you may see a little hook on that right hand side, and that hook is what's done the damage in this one. So again, it's taken that to a point where the width of the meat is going to be less than 6.35 mil. So, and that's a packet of 3. So at this point, I've now run out of blanks. Like that. Run out of blanks, and out of all the blanks I had, which I think was something like 20 something, I've got these 4 plus 1 more I'm using as a template. And that's the success rate compared to these plus the further 7 which are faulty, which is a bit sucky. So the next step from here is to pull down another sheet of ply and start creating more blanks for the centre ribs, and in particular the tail ribs. This is a sheet of Coskin ply. It's 5 mil thick, this one. What I was actually after was a 4 mil thick ply, but I pulled this one out by mistake. I actually need the same profiles in 5 mil anyway for things like wing roots. So I'm going to carry on and I'll cut this one up, and I'm just going to document this while I'm here, because I'll probably end up using part of this video as evidence for certifying the plane. So that's the maker's mark for the Coskin ply. So up this side I can see a wee flaw here. I don't know if it's visible on the phone or not, but I don't like that, so we'll avoid that. And I'll basically size this up. I'll run it through the table saw tomorrow night, straight down there, and then I'll mark up as many of these as I can get on the sheet and cut those out with the jigsaw. With a bit lucky you can see this. Now I've got 16 of these marked up going down this side, and this is what limits what you can get out of a sheet. If I can only get 16 of these, I can only get 16 ribs in total. On this side I've marked up the tail webs, and there's 26 of these marked up. And down the centre I run the table saw first to make sure I've got the angles right. I've got the pivot right on the nose webs, but this is where I'll stick the nose webs. And probably down here, because I've got some dodginess going on here and here, which I want to try and avoid. And the nose webs will fit nicely in that. These arrived in the post today. I ordered them a few weeks back. It's 2,500 brass screws, 1/2 inch long and 2 gauge. And I use these a lot for the wing ribs when I put them together. 2,500 might be a bit OTT, but I'd rather have a little bit more than not enough to have to try and get some more in. So I expected it to look a little bit more bulky. This is 2,500. I expected that in a large box. It's not particularly heavy, but equally the screws aren't large either. So yeah, just finished reducing that ply down to stacks of blanks using the old scroll saw. Don't know how many of these I got, but there's plenty there. And nose ribs, and this one's ropey there, so I haven't used it, and this is ropey there and ropey there. I can use centre part for nose ribs, but I've probably got enough at the moment, so I'll check those. And these are just 2 offcuts. Probably not much good for anything, but I'll keep hold of them for a little while, just in case. Just to add to that, it's if you get knots in ply like this, that's only 1 layer deep, and this is an 8-layer piece of ply. And one of the advantages of ply, this is according to the documentation I read, is that you get a more consistent timber. So any flaws like that are unlikely to be replicated in the other 7 layers in this case. Nonetheless, you don't really want a knot on the outside of your work. If nothing else, it makes it look horrible. And I've got a sneaky suspicion the stresses are probably mostly in the outer plies anyway. I've only got one where I've got an issue, which is this one sitting on top. And what I intend to do with that is I'm going to turn that into my, at least first go, at creating a template which I can then use on all the others. Because basically it's disposable. I don't really want to use that, so I'll mark it up as being rejected. But it will have a purpose, it will have a life. Pretty happy. This is my set of tail web ribs in 5mm ply, 12 of them. Looking pretty darn good. I still have to sand down this end where the router won't go, but it's all cut out, ready to go, and there's not a lot of sanding involved. Aside from that, pretty much done. Really happy with that, and I'll use one of these as the template for doing the small ones. As it turned out, the last thing I did before starting to get this success was change my router bit. I'm kind of wondering now if I struggled too long with the old router bit, not realizing it was blunt and grabbing. That may have been the root cause of most of my problems. But equally, it probably also highlighted the flaws I had in my other processes as well. So all's well that ends well, and these are looking pretty spot on. I've got these centre ribs to do next, and a bunch of tail ribs which have 3 holes in them, not 2. So I'll work on those and probably next week now. But yeah, just thought I'd give a quick progress update on that. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.